stuck in my tires. One day Mr. Blair gave us homework, so later when I was going home in the car, it flew away from me. So it flew from me and it fell on the road. So a second before it got run over by a monster truck, it flew towards my car and I caught it and went home. When I got home and I went cycling with my dad at the park called El Mamsha, and there were racers from a team called El Ahli. 5:30 p.m. just strikes and my tires go wild so I can catch up with my dad. And in a split second my homework got stuck in my tires and got ripped into pieces. So that's why I didn't do my homework, and it's not my fault, really, because when I would get back home I would have done it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my story.
Why I didn't do my homework. One day when I was doing my homework like every other day, Yusuf calls me and says, "Want to play?" And I say yes. So we do play, and when we wanted to go sleep, I ask him if he wants to come to my home before school. He says okay. So eventually he does come over and we play, but he didn't do his homework. But he sees my homework and asks me if I could go out of the room. So I do, and he takes my homework, and when I come back, I don't see my homework. So I think my mom put my homework in my bag. So me and Yusuf just go to school, and on the way I check my bag and I don't find my homework. So I ask Yusuf if he saw my homework. He starts to shiver and says, no. So I check his bag and straight away and I see homework. I take it out straight away, but he snatches it before I can read it, and he runs to the class and gives it to Mr. Blair. They kick Yusuf on the butt and he falls down and does my homework again, but it was too late. Oh, and in this picture, this is me. This is Sharif. And this is Abdullah. And this is Yusuf. This is Salim Barzouki. This is Mazmi.
Why I did not do my homework. It was a dark night. I was in my room doing my homework. I got hungry, so I went to the kitchen looking for food. As soon as I went back, my homework was gone. I searched for my homework, but I eventually found it in a shelf. I thought to myself, why was my homework on the shelf? But as soon as I remember, there was a script next to it. The script was in this house long ago with a spell. It would activate a day in the world, and I noticed the day was today. Actually, it was just my sister's letter, so it was a boring day. As it was dinner, I went to eat some rice, but the little did I know, my homework was incomplete. As soon as dinner was over, I quickly righted my homework and went to bed. When I went to school, but we ran out of petrol, so we had to get more. When I was in the car, a thief took my homework before I told my driver to catch him. I thought that's odd. It wasn't it. We caught him, but he ripped my homework as soon as I could get it. I tried everything to piece it back together. It was 7:55. I only had 5 minutes left. I pieced it back together, but the writing was gone. I wrote on it, but it broke. I had no choice but to tell Mr. Blair at the end.
I don't believe you.
Why?
Because you're always late. So at 7:55, you wouldn't have been here at school
No, we
anyway.
ran out of petrol. I just told you.
Nah, not rubbish.
It's
It's
true.
a lie.
It's true. Why I did not do my homework. Dear Mr. Blair, I was walking in my room to do my homework, but suddenly a big, ugly, fat, blue, scary monster jumped in my room. I was terrified, so I jumped out of the window and fell in the green garbage. Then I started screaming for 10 hours because the monster grabbed my things and threw it on me. Why, you ugly, fat monster, get out, I said angrily. Soon the monster jumped out of the house and broke it. We all moved to my grandmother's house when I saw a big, ugly bird eating my homework. But when I saw Shella going to the hospital, I stole her papers of homework. Then when I started to write, a big lightning struck at me. And then I had to go to the hospital for one day while getting burned every second. Till I arrived, I saw a paper, but then my paper was eaten by a big, ugly devil shouting, "Muhahaha." Then I fainted for 5 hours. I hated the devil. He was like Shada, or maybe dead. I was shocked when I heard Shada talking about me. I was not the 1400s devil, crazy Shada. So I jumped on her, screaming and cried. I had no homework sheet, so I did not know what to do. Then I realized the paper was next to me, but suddenly Superman shouted, "The paper is a criminal!" I suddenly screamed till I kicked him in the face. When I saw a flying, ugly face munching my paper, I'm gonna get punished. Shada, you are gonna pay. Sorry, Mr. Blair.
Dear Mr. Blair, I can't hand in my homework tomorrow. A tooth fairy took it. I know you wouldn't believe me, that's why I'll tell you my story. It was a rough evening, but I lost a tooth. The evening before Sunday, I was doing my homework. Suddenly my baby tooth fell on my paper and it had disgusting red blood. I was thinking what to do, but this was the only thing I thought of, rinsing it with water. It took time to dry out in the sun. Once the paper got dry, it was bedtime, so I put my tooth in a piece of tissue with my homework under my pillow so I don't forget it the next day. I had another choice, which was putting it in my bag, but my brothers and sisters would play with it. The next day, I woke up and checked my pillow, and I saw nothing but my tooth and no paper. I checked everywhere, even in my sister's tiny garden under the soil, and I got very brown from the mud, and I looked like I just got finished from bathing in melted chocolate. I asked my sisters, and they said, "Why are you asking me? Why would we steal your homework and we don't even need it for anything?" And you're so innocent, and very wide eyes and tears flowing down. I even asked the boys, and they said no. There only was one way. The tooth fairy took my homework, and she also sent me a note saying that she took it by mistake from Brooklyn.
I believe you because you're a junior school captain by the looks of your badge there. This is a true story too? You're a junior school captain?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dear Mr. Blair, I'm really, really sorry that I couldn't bring my homework today. When I was trying to do my homework, I saw Bloody Mary behind me. When I saw her, I yelled, "Ah!" I yelled as loud as a lion roared. She told me to look at the other side, but when I turned around, I saw a huge black bird took it. So I ran behind her. But then Bloody Mary took it from the bird and ran, but suddenly disappeared. She was as fast as a jaguar. When I was trying to find it, it was on the floor, but when I picked it up, there was a huge dog and snatched it from me and ran away. But a huge ghost came and took it from the dog. But he told me, "I will only give your homework if I come inside and kill you." But I said, "No!" But he ignored me and went in. And now I'm in the hospital writing this letter for you, Mr. Blair, just to apologize. Thank you.
Dear Mr. Blair, my angry teacher, Miss Bucklock, gave me 2 homework assignments to practice, and she will know if I don't do it. My other teacher, Mr. Snugglebug, asked me to write 3 stories, and the next day, if I don't hand it in, I'll have detention for 1 month. And my math teacher asked me to finish 100 pages on my iMath book. Then you gave me homework. One terrible day, I discovered my lunchbox was a monster. My brother and I kept it behind a metal plate so it won't chop everything with its teeth. The next day, a rat tipped over the metal plate, so then it ran out and chopped my homework. Crunch, 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 crunch. That's why I didn't bring it. Thank you.
Dear Mr. Blair, I have not done my homework, as you know. I have not done it because, well, it is a very long story, but here goes. Well, it was sunny weekend morning, and I had just come back from a sleepover. I sat down to do my homework, and I smelled something burning. I ran outside, and I saw a monster. It was green, disgusting. It breathed fire, and everyone was running away. So the creature was there the full night, scaring people and killing people. My mom told me not to go outside, but I did not listen. I went outside, and there was another monster, which the same looking but hairier. And she was smiling.
So for the rest of the night, I studied them. In the morning, I was half asleep, so I decided to take a nap. And after that, I woke up I really didn't know where I was. So I tried getting up, but I was tied down to the bed. A few minutes later, I saw someone walking my way. When the person got closer, it looked more like a huge half dinosaur, half horse, and half mosquito. It had big purple sparkly wings. I tried running, but I couldn't move. The mythical creature came closer and started speaking. He said in a very deep voice, "You can go home." I got really excited, but he continued and said I could only go home if I passed 3 tests. The first one was I had to go through a maze in only 4 minutes. My mouth dropped down. I tried it. Well, I did not do it, but they considered it in 30 minutes. The next challenge was I had to make up an invention in 5 minutes. Thank goodness. I love making stuff, so I did the test. The third task was that I had to give the creature a massage. It was pretty hard because the creature had huge sparkly wings, which is bigger than me. Finally, I finished and they told me I had to go back to sleep. And suddenly, I woke up in my bed. Yay! Finally, I'm in my house. So that is why I didn't do my homework.
Because of a dream. You had a dream.
No.
It was real.
Yes.
It was a real dream.
Yes.
So it was a dream.
No.
So it wasn't a dream.
Dear Mr. Shimbakabak, I did not do my homework because my laptop broke and I couldn't print the paper. So we could find a solution and we printed it from my mom's laptop. After the printing we started and we finished it. We left it on the table and left the house. When we came there was a letter on the table instead of my homework. It said, "Dear Khalid, an elephant has stolen your homework and will burn it if you don't get it back in 12 hours. Minutes later, my mom received an email saying that whoever doesn't get his homework will be expelled. So we searched for support. We found Muhammad al-Wannai.
I think someone's just pulled that fire alarm as an excuse to get out of doing their homework. Carry on.
Salim al-Fazli and Salim al-Barzougi. We searched and searched, but at last we found the elephant. He said, "I gave it to the alien of Mars." So we knew we would be pioneers if we got it back. So we went to work and we built a rocket. And with a blink of an eye, 3, 2, 1, blast off. We were hours from being pioneers. After hours, an alarm went to our rocket saying, you need to dump the most heavy guy on the plane, which also means the most fat guy on the plane. Muhammad al-Wannai. So we just threw him away and laughed at him screaming. We landed and became pioneers. So we found the alien. He said he hid it in the International Space Station. So we went there and we found it. But on the way home, we have to go through the Fast and Furious 8 studio. So went through it and gunfire tore the paper.
How?
And the actor needed to go to the bathroom and he got his business done with it. And so here we are, we came back and that was so stupid. And we're sitting right here now.
So why didn't you do your homework?
Because the gunfire tore the paper and we had to go all the way to Mars and then we had to came back and then we had to go to the space station and then the actor did his business with the paper and then I don't want to mention what I did.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Thank you.
The angel will do my homework. Yesterday when I should have been doing my homework. But then the angel came and stole it from my desk, while I wasn't paying attention. The angel took the homework and gave it to my dog, and as soon as the dog scrunched up my homework until it was filled with slobber and saliva, so then when I went to help my mom make dinner and dessert, she made cake and caramel apples. So then we ate dinner. My mom asked me in a sweet voice, "Haley, did you do your homework for Mr. Blair?" I said, "Yes. I just have a bit more to do, but I'll be done before bedtime." And as soon as I saw some glitter and wings and noise, "Where's your homework, Bailey?" I took it, your dog ate it. Someone exclaimed. So soon as she found out that her dog ate her homework. And that's why I didn't do my homework, Mr. Blair, from Bailey.
Ruth the dog said,
Dear Mr. Blair, I have not done my homework, you see. It was a long story, but I will share it with you anyways. It was a dark, misty night. I was in my room doing my lousy English homework. Never mind about that, but then there was this thing. I don't know what it was, but it was weird and fluffy. And it looked like a moose, you see. At least I thought it was a moose. Then it bellowed, Voldemort. And I so freaked out. Then suddenly a skinny, hooded figure came up and started puking blood. And I laughed, and it crept near to me. I couldn't stop laughing. Then the weird moose thingy started flying out of my window, and I chased after it. But I fell out of my apartment, and I just remembered I was on the 97th floor. And I broke both of my legs, all of my teeth, and one of my eyes fell out. So I was literally half dead. I also lost my voice. Then I ended up in hospital eating pickles, which made me feel worse. I have a crazy doctor, you see. I stayed there for the homework's due date and 3 months as well. After 3 months and the homework due date, my mom had to slap Voldemort out of my house and clean up the blood, and then she slipped on the fur the crazy moose dropped. Then she ended up in hospital drinking Coke. Crazy doctor again. I got better, and then I came to school, and it was the middle of the holidays. Don't you feel sorry for my mother? From Mahnoor.
Mr. Blair, I didn't do my homework because it was a weird story. So I dragon flew in my window and said, "Mwahaha, give me everything you own now." Then a dog with crooked wings flew in and whispered, "Give me your homework." My brain was blank. I couldn't process anything. Apparently, a monkey drank orange juice and a few strawberries. Wondered what's going on. The dog got my homework and chased them everywhere. When I got it, it was soaked with dark saliva, and the paper with a few words for my homework was gone. I'm telling you, gone. And that's why I didn't bring my homework.
Why I couldn't do my homework? I couldn't do my homework because, okay, here I go, but I don't think you'd believe me. So the first day before, I opened the bag, but I didn't find it. So I looked at its pen until I saw my chihuahua's mouth. So I tried to catch it, but I couldn't. But finally, he threw it, so I took it. But when I walked away, there was like an invisible person. So he or she took it. So I ran, then it flew up high from his or her hands. A bird took it, so I followed it, and he landed on a nest, and then a dragon took it, so I kept on running. The dragon landed on the ocean, floated without using his wings, but when he flew back up, it wasn't with him, so the only clue I had was that it was in the ocean. So I jumped and found it until a shark ate it, so I went back home, and it was past dinner time. So I didn't eat, so I slept. So that's why I didn't do my homework. Sorry, Mr. Blair. I know that I let you down, but is it too late to say sorry now?
Everything you did that.
I don't believe you.
You did that.
Dear Mr. B, the reason why I didn't do my homework was because while I was looking for my homework, I heard a big crack and a big plop. I got really scared, so I ran outside to the living room and saw a huge hole in the roof. And there was egg yolk all over the floor. Yuck. I ran outside as fast as I could, slipping 2,010 times. Whoops, 2011. Outside, I saw 2 astronomical emus that tried running towards me with their mouths wide open, ready to lick me. I was as terrified as a baby, seeing a new person. Ah! Monsters want to eat me! I screamed, rushing to the nearest swimming pool to hide myself. Splashed! I jumped in the cold water. Shouted the emus, confused. I said, blowing bubbles in the pool. Here you go! Smelled the emus handing me an egg full of, I don't even know. Thank you, but what about my hat? I replied, but the emus ignored and sprinted away. As soon as I looked at the egg, it disappeared. So I ran back home to tell my parents, but I discovered that I was home alone. After I took a shower, I remembered that my mom told me to send mail to my neighbors. It was 7:30. So I took my torch and went outside and saw Medusa staring at me as if I killed someone. I walked backwards really slowly, but she kept on following me, so I hurried and went to my mom and dad's room and found my mom knitting and my dad drinking tea while reading a newspaper. What? I said with a shocked expression, so I just jumped on their bed and fell in deep sleep. Sorry, Mr. Blair.
I believe you. Very believable.
My homework was sent to outer space. I had just finished my homework, then I went to watch some TV. I was just about to change the channel, then I saw NASA saying, they'll take some complete homework and will send it to outer space. Then I remembered that my homework was complete. Just then a robot came in and stole my homework from NASA. Then he jumped out of my room. When I looked down, I saw he was still there. Then I drew my sister to get my homework. When she jumped, I looked back. Then I saw the safety rope. Then I said, oops. Then I heard a loud bang. And I saw my sister rushed on the robber. Then the robber shook his head and looked. Then he ran and ran. I ran downstairs, then saw the robber exiting the house. So I went and tried to get my airboard, but I forgot it in the car. Then I decided to run after him. After 2 minutes, I caught up. The robber reached NASA base and the gate closed after him. So I jumped over the wall and ran after him. By the time I saw him, they already sent it to space. Then I walked home. Next day, I told Mr. Blair what happened. Then he said, there is no way your homework was sent to space. Then the rocket came crashing down to Earth. It was kind of small. Then my homework came flying out of the rockets. Then I said, here you go. Then the robber came out and fell on the floor. Then Mr. Bear fainted.
My homework disaster. It was lesson 2 and I was walking into Mr. Blair's English class thinking about what we're going to learn today. As I was sitting down in the front row, Mr. Blair stroking his chin as if he gave us homework. That was the time I just remembered. We had homework! I was biting my lip and sweating my head off as if I was eating the hottest pepper in the world. I had to think of an excuse. What if I say a hungry dog ate my homework? I thought. Mr. Blair. Mr. Blair was standing in front of the class. He asked who did their homework. Mr. Blair asked me first. Yikes, I whispered. Where's your homework? Asked Mr. Blair. I said, I accidentally threw it in the garbage because I thought it was scrap paper. It was scrap paper. A hungry dog ate my homework, I said strangely. Mr. Blair still didn't believe me. What should I do? I thought. I was still thinking until I thought of a great idea. I told Mr. Blair that my sister was running around with it and threw it in the toilet. Yes! I shouted. Mr. Blair believed me. The end.
On a nice day, I went to my friend's house and they
remember that I forgot my homework. I went to my phone and called my friend and said, is my He's replied, it's in my kitchen. I will bring it tomorrow. Tomorrow, when he hung up, I knew that it was safe in his small kitchen. In the next day, my friend woke up and went to eat breakfast. However, he ran out of fuel. I think he was imagining that there was a fairy that gave him a box of cereal, but actually it was his dad. When the milk was beside my homework, he spilled the milk in my homework, so my homework was ruined. At school, he told me the whole story. I was frozen like a statue when it was finished. Mr. Blair said to hand out our homework. I told Mr. Blair the whole story, but he said what I said was fiction, so I had to finish it until the end of school.
What kind of cereal was it?
Choco Pops. Not Choco, it's Coco. Choco.
Oh, if you had told me that cereal straight away, I would have believed you. Extra homework. I don't believe you.
My homework excuse is quite hard to believe, but I'm being honest. Like, truly serious. On Monday, I was trying to do a round cartwheel, but I failed it and broke my leg. Fell into a coma for 8 hours. That was quite weird. Then I went to an ambulance, as my mom told me what happened. I kept moving around while the nurse was trying to put on a plaster. I was having a nightmare. When I woke up, I felt pain. It was the painful, tall, and long injection they put on my hand. I panicked. My mom was not in the room. Doctors were talking. I didn't know what was going on. Later, it was 6 a.m., and I wasn't feeling very sleepy. I didn't want to wake my mom up, so I had to wait. I opened the curtains. They were right next to me. I just a little not to wake my mom up again, and started reading my mom's book that she fell asleep reading. I liked the book and realized why my mom liked it so much. Later on, my mom woke up, which was 4 hours later, and I was busted reading her book. Although I reached page 128 that she didn't read yet, she got very mad. At 1 p.m., I remembered my homework, and it was too late. I forgot where I put my paper. I looked for it everywhere, and then I thought that someone might have stolen it. My arch enemy, Esma. She was the true Satan, the true devil in the world. Such a bad criminal. Esma is known to be the most dangerous criminal. With a mortal life, she has been stealing since the 1400s and has been the #1 of the most dangerous criminals of all time. She was never caught and never undercover. Now that she has a crew with her called the Esma Lover Killers, I just couldn't believe that I was robbed by the most dangerous criminal in the universe. At least you didn't kill me. I thank God that I survived. I was really sad that I couldn't give you my homework, Mr. Blair. I would have left you, but sadly I couldn't. Don't believe her lies when she says that she didn't steal my homework. As for Esma, I went to the hospital too. After she got struck by lightning, we catfighted for 5 minutes that seemed to be forever. Then we started talking. I knew she was the one who stole my homework. Then we started talking, and I knew she was the one who stole my homework. And good, there's something called karma because she got it. A bird ate her homework, and good, there is something called karma, and tried to give it to you, Mr. Blair. But she still didn't tell me why. But she still told me when we talked. So I told you she was an idiot criminal, was mortal, and stole my homework. It cost millions and took a minute to finish. A minute is a really long time. Count till 60 and you will realize it. I'm very sorry. I hope you forget Esma, a criminal, and do nothing to me because I'm innocent. Sincerely, your favorite student, Shetta. Don't worry, Esma's going to jail anyway. Nope.
My excuse for not doing my homework. I was at home just sitting in my bed reading my book. Then I remembered that Mr. Blood has sent us our spelling homework. That he is so ridiculous and always gives us the hardest homework. Besides, I jumped off my bed like a kangaroo, and Spider-Man came somehow and stole my homework. I chased him around my room like a crazy chicken. I breathed so hard, he gave it after giving him 7 million dirhams. Later on, I was so tired after chasing Spider-Man.
So I took a nap for 1 whole hour. When I woke up, I found a whole entire jungle somehow again. I found the giraffe passing my homework to the lion, to the gorilla, the monkey, cheetah, and in fact, they were all running around making such a mess after cleaning my room, which took me 5 hours. Then, suddenly, a knock on the door. All the animals stopped, as well as me. The door opened. I think it's my mom's. I think it's my mom. Finger crossed, it's not her. Then a goat came in and chewed my homework up. This question is always repeats in my mind. Why do we always have to do four hours of homework each night, and Mr. Blair doesn't? How do you think he would feel if he has to do this?
Ahmed, Yusuf, did you do your homework? Yusuf, no, I was eating filfil ziyada. Ahmed, what does filfil ziyada mean? Yusuf, it means I was eating more chili pepper. Yusuf, and I didn't do my homework. Ahmed, why? When I was eating the chili pepper or filfil, I burned my homework by breathing fire. Ahmed, why did you even bring it to the so bad? I wanted to show up with it. Mr. Blah Blah Blair, where is your homework? Yusuf, I burned it. Mr. Blah Blah Blair, what the? I was eating filfil ziyada or hot sugar paper. That was his biggest and I burned my homework. Yusuf, lol.
Dear Mr. One gruesome day, I woke up ready for school and I had some tasks to do. I had 8 assignments from my teacher, such an annoying name. So that's why I call him Mr. BC. B stands for his hard name and C stands for confusion. This is his actual name, but I'm not going to say it. Anyway, I completed 2 assignments from my teacher. Success. Feels like Victor saying it. So I reached school and the bell rang for the first lesson. We had Mr. BC for English. So my teacher, whatever, said in an annoyed and bored voice, "Okay, class, I have assigned you 8 tasks. Show me your work." Okay, yes, I see. Well, it isn't Mrs. Maria Lucy. I call him Mr. BC, so he calls me Maria Lucy. Such an annoying name. Have you done your 4 assignments? Also, he said in a loud voice, "What is your excuse today?" So, everybody tries not to laugh from his funny voice, but I try sometimes. However, I had to come up with an excuse, but I said many. My paper turned into a disgusting bat and it flew away. A volcano erupted and it burnt my paper. My dog flushed my homework in the toilet. My color room is purple, but the paper is allergic to purple, so it turned into dust. So many peas there. A wizard took it for a spell. I was drinking juice, but somehow it was poisonous, so it spit it out and it came on my paper, so the paper got soggy. 1 second, let me breathe. Okay, let's continue. My crazy annoying pet dinosaur loves eating anything he sees, even garbage, so he ate it. My dad invents stuff, even a time machine. So I had a sneak peek and the paper was in my hand. So I touched the time machine when I was not supposed to. But I mean, come on, a time machine? So I touched it and I think I traveled a little too back in the dinosaur world. So a dinosaur found me and used me as an umbrella for his drink. So he ate me and the paper. But by hook or by crook, I'm still alive. A zipper of my bag was open. I didn't care, so the paper fell in a puddle when I hopped on the bus. It turned to fire. My mom froze it, and those are the excuses. One more. I went to Hawaii and I didn't care, so I relaxed. So he didn't believe me, and I got a rotten lollipop and a 3-month detention every second break. But at least my dinosaur ate a lollipop that had pieces of gum, hair, sweat, and booger. Even I feel like I want to puke tonight.
The raptor that ate my homework. It was a very tough day for me as I went outside and played soccer. Soon enough, I remembered what Mr. Blair said. Don't forget to do your homework, it's due tomorrow. As I rushed through the door into my bedroom, I found out that it was 5:36. I thought I had enough time to do my work, so I started doing it. Halfway through, I said, as I heard a big thump coming from outside. I was thinking it was just the pipe that was being built, so I just continued doing my work. 3 pages left until I hear a crack. It was frightening, but I just learned to live with it. By the time I was in my second last page, the door opened with the speed of a demon. It could have been my brother just playing with my baby twins, but why wouldn't he run so fast? I went and explored, and what I saw were dinosaur footprints. Were all these noises coming from a dinosaur? I said to myself. I should have been imagining things. A slithering sound coming from outside of my door. It could have been a dinosaur. Hiding under my bed, I can see its footprints. It's a raptor. It's drooling at my cake with the vanilla frosting. I had to fight back, but what will I do? That's it. I slithered out of my bed, hoping my plan would work to stop the raptor from eating my cake. As I jumped in the air and did a 360, taking the fork and trying to battle the raptor, with one hand eating the cake for energy and the other one battling the cruel raptor, I had no chance against the raptor, so I jumped in the air with the cake, and the raptor ate the spot where my cake was. He was about to eat the homework. Had to think fast. Cake or homework that I spent hours on. I dropped my cake and went for the homework. But it's too late. He had already ate my homework. I locked him in my room and he eventually broke through my bathroom window. I know that's weird. Waking up extremely early the next morning, I forgot about my homework. I needed to think of an excuse, but nothing built can last forever. Well, there was my excuse as Mr. Blair asked me where my homework is. And I had to tell him the whole story. And I eventually had to do the homework all over again.